Hello! Welcome back to Ratropolis. We're going to play our Leader Plus run today, and it's going to be on the forest. Let's begin. That noise. You know, afternoon, you know the drill. It's afternoon in the countryside. Looks like it poured rain at some point, though, so there should be less people outside, but still, I hear something out there. Anyway, how you doing? How's it going? Good evening. Afternoon. Morning, actually, for you. Because it is Monday morning out there in the world. For myself, it is, of course, Sunday afternoon. Maybe one day, far in the future, I'll have a big backlog where I'll have, like, an entire week of episodes recorded and set to upload. And then I just won't do anything for 6 days. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know. The big problem with that is that I would have to play like 14 runs of this game in a single sitting, and that's the big hang up. I could do that now, but I don't know. I have a balance to how I like my days to go, and spending this, that would be like 7-ish hours recording Ratropolis is going to throw off my day's balance. Not that I don't love the game, but 7 hours straight, I don't know. I think that about 1.5 to 2 hours is about as long as I like to play this game for a day. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with the game or bad. I think that's very fine. Play this game for an hour and a half every day, and I'm still loving it. But you go much beyond that, and I'm gonna start going like, well, now that I think about it, maybe I don't want to play this game that much. But if I would ever pull back to 1 episode per day, I could probably record the week in a sitting, because then it's only like 3-ish hours. I will take houses here, and that's not so bad. But anyway, how you doing today? I am good. You know the drill. Woke up recently. It's 2:30. Woke up, have not done anything but work my way out of bed and then begin recording Ratropolis. No, that's not true. I watched a video on how to make fried rice, because I'm planning on making fried rice probably in like an hour or so. I cooked up some rice yesterday with the intention of turning it into fried rice today. I thought ahead for it, so like, I'm looking forward to it. But I was like, I'm feeling like recording a Ratropolis before I get going here. Just get one done, knock it out, then go eat, and then I can come back and record the other one and then stone shard. I think I stacked up all these guards. I'm going to want to get a few more. I'm not getting my card removals right now, which is a little concerning. However, we have a good momentum for population. I'm gonna go ahead and take... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try something crazy. I'm not gonna take Laborer. 100 gold. My reasoning for not taking Laborer here is because I'm trying to keep this momentum and keep the redraw, keep the 4 grains going while I build up through the early game, and I think that adding even one more card may mess up the momentum we have going on here. Because I need to mirror those build up, right? What I often do is I only build up on one side and then everything falls apart and I go, shit, how'd this happen? I'm going to spend my money here. I'm not going to slow down. I'm going to spend my 90 gold per redraw to build up a nice guard stack on either side. Crazy new strat. Never before seen in all of this game's history. I know, but believe it, it's working. Like, it's actually working. Now, I'm afraid of pulling out a cheese. I think I will, though. Not Potter. If I don't pull out a cheese, what am I going to do here? I'm going to stick to a cheese-based plan? I don't think so. I've tried that in the past a few times, if you're wondering. It is not good. What do you have for me? Livestock, restaurant, these are both very good. I can take a watchtower to help out the right side as well. Consulate is interesting, because imagine just like timing it out, right? Timing out Consulate to land. So like, I try to play out like 5 or 6 mercenaries and time Consulate with their end of service. However, I don't think it would go as well as you would like it to. I think that that's something you need a lot more money for than I have right now. Go here. The reason I put it like this is so that there's a 2 space in front of the wall, so that when I move on I can put down a 2 space building or just 2 houses there. Either way it works. Yeah, we got a good labor start here. We got 2 workshops, we got a restaurant. And this right here is how things can fall apart on you, right? It's like, oh, I've focused my entire army on the right side, and boom, boss is on the left side. Or vice versa in this case. And then it just goes straight to hell. I'm gonna keep on the removals, I'm not gonna take labor. Now if I don't see another laborer, this is obviously, oops, that's my bad, but I'm banking on seeing another laborer at a better time. I need money here. I want it to be like that. Look at that, I said what I wanted this time and still landed it, so maybe it's not all in the subconscious. God, green. Just on out cheese, but you know. We're making good enough money that I can pay to redraw here to fill out the army, it looks like. And maybe not even lose anything. This dude just tanked enough. Remember when I had 10 guards stacked up here? Yeah, me neither. God, fuck that boss. Oh, that's gross. We got Commander though, which is actually so nice. Commander just stops that from ever happening to me again. And is extremely helpful. And I think I'm just gonna keep paying to redraw right now. Because like, why not? Basically, why not? I can afford to, and it's gonna be helpful for my army if I do so. Now, of course, if I don't see a laborer again, if I don't see a Fletcher, we're in a bit of trouble here, but it's looking like we're okay. Good. And I'm not gonna pay to redraw when I have no... Hey, there's labor. I'm gonna take this one. No more pushing it off. I've missed out on a lot of value with the number of labors finishing up, for sure, but I feel like it was important for me to play this one this way. And these runs have been very... These Leader Plus runs in particular have been very commentary focused lately. I feel like they've been giving me a bit of a run for my money here. I gotta be honest with you. I'm gonna give funding a go here. I think I can make great use of funding. I'm pretty sure funding wins me the game, actually. Right, because this card is huge value. It's only... You know, even if you have 1 labor going, it makes you money. And I have like 8 going, so this makes me 320 gold, which isn't as much as I would have expected. However, it's still a lot. But yeah, these runs feel like they've been going a little more on the I need to make sure I'm giving this one my all side, which isn't bad. Like, I've lost like 4 in a row or something like that, just to, I don't know, bad luck, but also maybe some mistakes, I'm not sure. But I feel like this is the first run in a while where I feel like I've had positive cash flow on the run. I feel like every single run has just, like every run in the recent memory has just been, well, I have no money. That sucks. And then I die. But this run, it gave me a lot of houses, it's given me a lot of good stuff here. I cannot complain. Yeah, really though, these enemies aren't the problem. The spitters aren't the problem. The problem on these waves is the fat boys who tank for the spitters. That's why you take so much damage on these waves. Not that this is like a big revelation. Oh god, we got Berserker. You see, now I'm looking at like, ooh buddy, I have a lot of cards here that I do not necessarily want to have. A lot of cards that maybe I'm not so interested in, like Berserker. I wonder, here's a good question. Do you think Berserker buffs himself when a service ends? This is something I'm going to play Berserker for just to find out. Although it's going to be kind of hard to tell based on timing here. But we'll see. First of all, he has to live, and second of all, the service has to end and not have the unit die. And that has to happen while he's not while he's not raged already. I just froze up there watching for a second. It's interesting because I think what would actually make that fight so much, like this boss so much easier is if you had the Guards Advisor. With Guards Advisor, they would probably not, I mean, they wouldn't miss as much as you would take less damage. It's a very active run. I have a lot to play, and I have a lot of cards to remove. I would like it if one of these choices was just remove 2 cards. Commission? Ooh, upgrade the whole deck. No, I don't think I can take it here. You gotta know when you can get away with greed like taking commission, and I do not think we can get away with taking commission here. Under any circumstances. Do I believe that? No. I think that this is a very momentum-based setting. Like, we need to be constantly redrawing and playing cards, and I don't really have, like, for at least a little bit of time while I build up my income through funding. And that's going to be hard to do if I have a commission. Distribution. This does nothing. Distribution's a weird one. This is a random building card. I'm gonna buy it. Monastery. See, yeah. I think that question mark has been slept on by myself. I think that question mark is less terrible as I may have thought. Less terrible than I may have thought? Less terrible as no, than I may have thought. I've been watching, there's some... So if you've been watching for a while, I may have mentioned a few times now that I peruse TikTok from time to time, just finding whatever interesting thing on there I can find. And I gotta tell you, there are definitely some cool things on there if you're, as I've said. But one of the videos that one of these guys I've been watching, he's an English teacher who just makes a bunch of, like, hey, send me your questions on English scenarios and I will answer them. So it's like, when do you use seen versus saw? When do you, what was another one? Continuous versus continuously? Or no, continuous versus continually. Sorry, minor difference there. Just a bunch of little things like that I'm like, huh. Some of these I'm like, yeah, I know you don't use I seen something. You say I saw something, right? Like I seen the movie versus I saw the movie. Unless you are, of course. No. Maybe you seen when you're talking about seeing the movie Saw, so that you don't have to go I saw. Maybe you go I seen Saw, I see Saw, I see shells by the seashore. Something like that. What are we looking at here? We're looking at more removals. I need more population, actually. I need houses. But yeah, just a bunch of little things like that where it's mostly I see these videos and I go, huh, well now I know that, and then immediately it is gone from my brain. Like within minutes it is. What did I learn? Like those two are pretty much the only things I can remember, and I watched like 10 of his videos. But they're still interesting. English, as I've said many times, is such a horrible language to learn. Like, it's gotta be hell. If you're out there learning English, dude, I'm sorry. I've been learning Korean a little bit. That language, it's tough just because a lot of the game, what am I talking about? A lot of the language has, it's just learning vocab now, right? They have their own phonetic alphabet that I've learned, and now it is just learning what the vocab means, right? For the most part though, if you showed me a sentence, I could read it. Not like tell you what it means, but I could read it out loud and go, yes, this is what this sentence says. What does it mean? Do not ask me. But it's cool. Learning stuff is fun. I'm having a good time learning. I don't understand it. I do not understand this rooster, man. I talk about this every episode now, but there's a good reason for that. It's because he's going every episode. What does this dude do? How do you live like this? Does he sleep? He must sleep, right? There is no entity on Earth that can go without sleep, I think. Although, no, that's not true. I think there's probably some animals that don't sleep. Or like some, what's the word? Some, like, microorganisms, single-celled organisms, things like that don't have to sleep, things like that. Or like maybe some aquatic life that has adapted beyond sleep. But I'm like 90% sure roosters sleep. Except for this bitch, because all he does is scream. What a great life. Although realistically, that's all I do here. This one is interesting, though, because it is just... I think that I should be playing the early game more like I did on this run, where instead of trying to build up income, I just keep redrawing until I'm out of money, and in that redrawing, I just like take a bunch of houses, spam redraws, and build up a big army. and then watch it all get evaporated. But no, I have like 15 guards right now. And with Commander, they're really strong. I'm gonna remove Potter. At this point, obviously, I don't need to remove cards. However, if I add stuff later now, it's less of a concern. Yeah, we're at like 15-10, which is numbers that I sometimes don't see over the course of an entire run. So, you know. The problem is I need to play out more labors now, which is not that hard. Just need to remember to play out more labors, basically. I've been discarding my grain. I should probably discard some guards instead. And then just make sure I play funding as well, because that's the big crux here. Now, funding won't carry me forever, either. In fact, it's already starting to run thin. Right, what are we at with funding? It's 200, which is not enough. However, combined with the labors, it's probably good enough. I don't need to redraw right now. We're not in any sort of dire circumstance. Nothing else to removal. I think we actually just take leader levels. How much money did that give me? I didn't actually see a number there. Huh. The leader levels, if you get rolling, can really make you some big money. But I am kind of feeling like I'm running... Oh, I just need to upgrade Gather, actually, and then this is insane, right? Because if we livestock gather this, it's actually huge. Yeah, that's all I need to do. I need to make sure that I upgrade Gather if I get an upgrade here. Because I passed it, because I was like, I don't need to upgrade Gather here. I have the Silent, right? But that's not true. What do you think the highest natural redraw time you can get to is? I think it's gotta be... It's probably 30 seconds. I think you can double it. If you get the Silent, which gives 5 seconds, and you get... that coast event where you have to repair and you take the leader at the... it's only 3 seconds, so it's probably 28 seconds. Oh, Recorder though. But I think in a shocking twist I'm going to skip Recorder and upgrade Gather. Yeah. I think so. Because this is just a lot of money here. Especially if we get a few more houses. If it's a little better to do it this way. And now that we have this, I think I'm even going to remove Grain. I have the potential to add like 4 cards to this deck right now. I'm down to 5 cards and I draw a lot. Oh my god. That's unexpected. Oh, I accidentally bought the question mark card. That is my mistake. However, question mark card being bought is not that big of a deal. Oh, yeah, we have enough space for one more. So yeah, we're gonna see how low you can go on labor times here, it looks like. I have been told there is a lower bound. We will see if this is the case. Here momentarily. May as well give myself 2 extra seconds of wave time here. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. It's actually terrible for my funding play, however, 10 seconds. Like, I think I can only get 4 of these at a time. Yeah, I can only get 4 livestocks at a time. I have how many workshops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 workshops. I should have bought the investment. Definitely should have bought the investment. However, I was too busy going, oh my god. This is a lot. This is a very fast labor. Very, very fast. And that's great. I'm gonna keep 4 rotating here and we will... Because 10-second labors plus labor, you don't need me to tell you that this is very strong. Right? I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that fact. This is very strong for our laborers. This Berserker is also somehow still alive over here, I gotta tell you, I'm very surprised. So every 3 seconds my units are gaining 8 max HP? Right? 8 or 5, let's just say 8 for the upgraded ones. So about every 3 seconds right now they're gaining 8 max HP, which is, you know, per minute, which is, we're going to break this down to per wave here, because there's going to be about 20 of these livestocks going off per wave. Leads us to about 160 health per wave. Roughly speaking. Which is, and this is true, a lot of health. It is a lot of health. I want to get 1 more laborer down over here. Oh, I forgot to move up. That's a mistake. That sucks. It's just going to break a few workshops, but it still sucks. And yeah, the other big thing is commander plus guards is hard carrying me right now. Don't get it twisted. Commander plus guards is very, very helpful. Having guards doing, like having a 15 stack of guards doing 4 damage each is very nice. Watch how fast these waves melt away, right? They die a lot faster than you would expect a stacked wave like that to die. You got more wave time for me? Oh, you got egg. Where did I get an extra population? Did that berserker die? Huh. Oh yeah, that berserker died. R.I.P. buddy. But also, like, never ever return to this colony. This is your only warning. I'm gonna keep leveling up my leader ability. It's level 5, but it's all they're really offering me that's worth it. We'll see what my man the merchant has. Fletcher, I think it's a little late. However, drugstore. Yeah. On that one. Vote yeah. And then random skill, I don't think I want. So we're gonna go ahead, we're going to... I'm not gonna play out any units. I think we're just gonna bait and give myself a little extra time. Oh yeah, that's a mistake. Oh well, it doesn't matter. There's a drugstore for you. And we're gonna go ahead and get the... Oh, they broke a house, so I can't play any more units. Interesting. Or any more labors, I mean. So we just watch and see how it goes. Which, I mean, you see these guys' health. I should be healing them, by the way. That's what I should be doing here. I have the money to, because of all the labor. Oh, we lost him. That's terrible. I should not have lost a man here. There's no way I deserve to lose a man. I mean, I do deserve because I was lazy and I wasn't thinking. But like, I should not have lost a dude there by under any circumstances. Maybe you can actually buffer your auto attacks. I didn't, or not your auto attacks, your spacebar presses. I didn't know that. Give me a bait. I want one more time here. How much time do we have? I'll check momentarily. But yeah, quite a fast labor turnover time, I must admit. We got 40 seconds. That's plenty of time. And I'm gonna figure out how many livestocks you can actually play per second if I'm playing them as fast as possible. I'm pretty sure it's 4, right? Because like I've said, I have the redraw time tapped out at about 3 seconds, right? Yeah, so it is 4. 4 is as many as we can get going. So I'll have 5 population free because you can have a 5th one going, and we'll put the rest into labor or guards. Yeah, so we have what? We want to be at 5. Okay. Let's put down a guards, get ourselves even here, and then just get putting them down here. But yeah, like I've been saying, these runs have been a lot more gameplay focused lately, and I don't know if it's a shift in my mentality or a shift in the difficulty of the runs. Maybe both. I'm not sure. I have no answer for you. However, I've noticed it, and I'm not complaining. You know, like I've said every time, it's like it's a good or a bad thing based on your perspective. I don't really mind either way. I don't have a. It's not like I'm missing out on like, oh man, I had a really cool, great story I was gonna tell you today, but oops, Ratropolis got me. Nah, nothing like that. It's just like, hey, I'm focusing on the game a little more. I mean, what's going on with me lately? Let's do that. A little late in the run for this, but hey, who says I can't switch the formula up? Not much. Just been playing Paper Mario on the stream. The VODs are here on the YouTube if you have missed out on that. They are pretty good, I would say. I think that game is pretty stellar. I did go one more than I had intended to, however, I decided to do this. This wasn't a mistake. I did this because I wanted to have 2015 on either side. And then this is it, right? I'm pretty sure with this 73 population we can win the game. I would like to get a little more just for the labors, but I don't think... I'm gonna see if we win with this number of units. But yeah, Paper Mario's been really good. I'm very glad to be experiencing that game for the first time. I feel like this is one of those games that a lot of people would go, man, I wish I could go back and experience this game for the first time again. Because it's real good. Like it is very much worth the hype and praise that I had been given about it. People were like, this is one of the greatest games, and I remember this game so much, and it's so great, and I was like, well, we'll see how great it is. But as I've said, I was very surprised. Not like very surprised, but I was surprised because I expected it to be a like goofy kids game, and yet we're dealing with some like pretty, not heavy, like nothing crazy, but like adult themes, right? Things that I'm like, oh wow, this is definitely something that would have flown over my head as a kid, or I would have just accepted. But now that I'm, you know, older, I can go, hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. What's going on here? Hey, look at their healing though. You see this now? They're also so they're healing 4 every time I throw out a gather, and they're also gaining 5 to 8 max HP every wave, or every 3 seconds. Quite strong. Labor is, as I've said, probably the strongest unit. Not probably the strongest unit, but given this circumstance, I wouldn't be. I don't think it would be crazy to say that Labor is the strongest unit in this game. Which is silly because I've also said that about Brotherhood and about Fletcher. But, you know, I keep not getting Fletcher, so how am I supposed to say Fletcher is good? Fletcher is really good though. Like, these units are on a power level way higher than any other units. 60 seconds on an investment, huh? That's a quick return right there. I'll take it. But no, these units are on a really high return. Like, they're on a very high power level compared to something like Militia. Or like basically, the comparison you make is you compare Labor and Slinger to Pike Rat and Labor and Fletcher to Pike Rat and Slinger is the comparison you make. And I think that it's no contest. For me anyway, it's no contest. Drop an investment here just because how many times will I get the chance to invest like this, right? It's a surefire win. Paper Mario's good. I'm very much having a good time with it. I like playing story-based games from time to time because everything I play is like this, right? Roguelikes or similar games with not much of an interest in story. Like Ratropolis isn't a story game, but playing a story game every now and then is fun just to have something to like. The game gives you a lot more to work with, right? There's not a whole lot of humor that I can derive from Ratropolis. Mostly the humor is just in the game putting me to death in a absurd way, right? Something like Paper Mario though, there's dialogue and there's wacky things written by the people who wrote the game. I don't know, like Nintendo, and it's good. Like it's nice to not be like, oh man, feel like I have to be entertaining, right? But that's not true because this game in itself is entertaining. And like roguelikes are entertaining in their own way, but it's a different style, and it's cool. I like playing them from time to time. However, I will say there's so much dialogue, right? And it's not voice acted, so I have to read it all off. And by the end of the night, I go, "Ooh, buddy, my throat is sore." If you're wondering if it's a big deal breaker, no, I do not use. I don't do any funny voices. Yeah, go for a third drugstore because you know this is my vocal range. I can go up to about here and down to about here, and I don't do accents very well either. So no, there's no fun voices or anything like that because instead of doing fun voices, I just read everything in a completely serious monotone voice like I do everything in this life, and that's the humor. Take it or leave it. I read every single line of dialogue like this. Although they do have some accents in the game, like there's a French dude, for example, that keeps recurring, and he has an accent like in writing, and so like the mafia dudes also have an accent and such. So it's not. Look at this damage this dude's taking. Holy moly! My man, 500. How much damage is this one Raccoon? 700. How much health does he have? 900. 1,000 damage. What is going on? Okay, he died. He had 1,162 health before passing away. Goodbye, my man. You did us proud. Holy shit. That dude had a lot of health. But no, I approach these games with my own style. In story-based games. It's not, I don't think it's quite as high up on my list of things that I enjoyed playing and I think was fun to watch as the first big story-based game I played on stream, which was Octopath Traveler. I think that game was one of my fondest for games I've played on stream. It was one of the first things I ever put on YouTube, actually. The whole series is cut and it's like not all the gameplay, but all of the story stuff is on YouTube for you to watch. I think that was enjoyable. I had a good time going through that story, even if at times it got a little, whack. But like that's the thing about it. That's one of the crazy parts about it, is despite the game being, hate this. I don't need to tell you I hate this, but they won't die. But this, if these guys weren't so ridiculously beefy, this would be like run ending right here. I'm gonna utilize bait to try and help keep them alive a little longer. But yeah, this would just be absolutely run ending if I didn't have a way to keep them alive, right? These guys are not meant to fight like this. We're just gonna have to bait to delay the next wave, because if the next wave spawns, then we're really gonna face trouble. Good thing I held on to this bait. But no, the way Octopath Traveler is if you haven't played it, is it's 8 separate characters who each have their own story. And so ridiculous. But fine, it'll be fixed one day, and then I will never have to complain again. There's 8 separate characters who all run their own story and have their own thing going on, and they don't really interact with each other. But what that does is it makes it so that, like, the characters just feel like you're playing 8 separate stories, but on the other hand, you're playing 8 separate stories, right? And it's cool. Like it's pretty cool for that alone. But what it also leads to is some of the characters have really cool, really interesting stories with a lot of intrigue and a lot of like fun stuff going on, and then some other characters have just one of the dumbest plot twists I've ever played in video games. And you get to ask yourself, oh boy, I wonder which side we're gonna fall on in this chapter. Is this shit gonna fly off the rails and make me go, what am I playing? I sure hope so, because that's fun and also awful. AoE, like every single form of, like honestly, all they need to do, I figured it out, I've cracked the code, all they need to do to fix this bug where these units, I mean it's not even a bug, right? It's just how the AI is. All they need to do to fix this AI is lower the range on every ranged unit by like 2 tiles. The problem is that these units are so big that like that might just ruin the ranged units as a whole. So then the alternative is you make it so that if these units are walking too far out, then they return, or they just give me an option to select these units and tell them to return to the wall. Because if you make that check where it's like, oops, they walk out too far, now they're going to walk back, then they could just get stuck, right, in a little loop where the enemies just keep like they walk out, they walk past the threshold, they get hit, they walk back, they walk out, etc., forever, which would be an equally frustrating problem to face. However, I would take that problem over this one like every single day, because this shit is just awful. As I have said millions of times, like one day I will never have to complain about this again, I pray. But until that day, cool buddy, I fucking hate it. Give me 28 grand. But yeah, Octopath Traveler was good. I've played some like somewhat story-based games. I'm gonna take over Seer and just get out of this shit. Overseer makes these problems go away. I played a few other games with a healthy amount of story in them. Darkest Dungeon for one was pretty good. For two, what was that noise? don't even know. I think that might be an audio sound bug. I don't know. But like Darkest Dungeon, this is, by the way, terrible sound effects. I hate it. But Darkest Dungeon, what else have I played that was good? Let me think about it. Oh, they killed Nova before. That's so fine. Paper Mario's been pretty good, a little different. I mean, a little different because I'm just playing it right now. But, oh, I played through Phoenix Wright back in December. I did not put those VODs on YouTube, unfortunately, but Phoenix Wright was really good. That game was really, really fun. And it's the game that kind of cemented to me that I want to play more story-based stuff. Because I was like, yo, this is really fun. Like, this is great. If at times it drug on a little bit, but still, like, it was really good. Alright, we're going to play out 2 of them, and then we're going to play Livestock Gather. But yeah, with Labor plus any form of healing plus Livestock Gather, you can win pretty much any run, is my official take. You don't need anything else but Labor, Livestock Gather, and some form of healing. Did I fuck up? Oh, I played Gather first, didn't I? I sure did. This boss is going to take a while because of his shell, of course. That is how it is. However, I don't have any fear that we're going to die. Because our laborers, right? Although, these guys are going to stack up to a point eventually. Like, if he roars enough times, since our laborers are hitting like, they're hitting the boss instead of the enemies, right? This could end in disaster. But it would, like, these guys have so much health, it takes them, like, entire waves to kill one. Right here, another great example of why you can't play midline units, though, in any form of DPS capacity, as these units just attack right over your front line. I feel like I complained a lot in this game about things that we already know about, but also, I don't know, spending like a full minute watching a 15 stack of laborers just punch enemies way outside of range is it's a little tiring. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave me a like. Subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.